isn't enough to tell us what a man did. You've got to tell us who he was.
If I hadn't been very rich, I might have been a really great man. I'm Charles Foster Kane!
My goodness.
Who are you? I told you, George, I'm your guardian angel.
What is it you want, Barry? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
Sentimental hogwash.
I wish I had $1 million. Mr. and Mrs. Martini, welcome home.
This is what I wished for.
You see, George, you really had a wonderful life.
Merry Christmas!
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right.
I shall never forget the weekend Laura died. I, Waldo Lydecker, was the only one who really knew her. Through me, she met everyone, famous and the infamous. Her youth and beauty, her poise and charm of manner captivated them all. Wherever we went, she stood out. Men admired her. Women envied her. I suppose you're here about the murder? Murder is my favorite crime. I write about it regularly. And I know you'll have to visit everyone on your list of suspects.
You collapsed when you identified the body. Shotgun loaded with buckshot, close range. Not very nice to look at.
It's horrible. My first instinct was to call the police.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. Is that a sign of guilt or innocence, McPherson?
Waldo, for your own good, I'm warning you to stop implying that I had anything to do with Laura's death.
You're on the list yourself, you know.
Her letters. And her private diary.
Haven't you any sense of privacy?
Murder victims have no claim to privacy.
Have you ever dreamed of Laura as your wife?
That's none of your business.
You better watch out, McPherson, or you'll end up in a psychiatric ward. I don't think they've ever had a patient who fell in love with a corpse.
my philosophy of life. Do it to him before he does it to you. What do you want?
Your gun.
We got the fattest piers and the fattest harbor in the world. Everything moves in and out, we take our cut.
Come on, I better get you home. There's too many guys around here with only one thing in their mind. Am I gonna see you again?
What for? I really don't.
Ah, come on. Come on. Edie.
Father, who'd want to kill Joey? Who'd want to kill Joey?
Now listen, you know who the pistols are. You're going to keep still until they cut you down one by one? Get a doctor!
Stay away from me!
Talk yourself in the river.
This isn't at all your idea of a proposal, is it? It should be in a conservatory. You in a white frock with a red rose in your hand, and a violin playing in the distance.
I always did say that Englishmen have strange tastes. You certainly have your work cut out as mistress of Vanderley. To be perfectly frank with you, my dear, I can't see you doing it. You haven't the experience. You haven't the faintest idea of what it means to be a great lady. Of course, you know why he's marrying you, don't you? You haven't flattered yourself that he's in love with you. The fact is, that empty house got on his nerves to such an extent, it nearly went off his head. He just couldn't go on living alone.
You mustn't worry about old Max and his moods. One never knows what goes on in that quiet mind of his.
I wonder if I did a very selfish thing in marrying you.
We're happy, aren't we? Terribly happy.
How can I answer you when I don't know the answer myself? Happiness is something I know nothing about.
How could we be close when I knew you were always thinking of Rebecca? How could I even ask you to love me when I knew you loved Rebecca still?
Going to make use of that rather expressive, though somewhat old-fashioned term, foul play.
All aboard for Northburg!
On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound for nowhere, met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, son, I need a life out of reading people's faces.
You will take my advice, ma'am. You
won't take this trip.
They got me in here, and I'll let them try to put me out.
See, I can see you're out of face.
Worse things than a patches.
Well, folks, that settles it. We're going through.
Speaking. I'm talking from the bedroom of Norma Desmond. Don't bother with a rewrite, man. Take this direct. Ready? As day breaks over the murder house.
Yes, you'll read the big black headlines about Norma Desmond and this Hollywood scandal. But you'll never read the true story about the rest of us who were part of it. Me, for instance, Joe Gillis, a promising young writer from Dayton, Ohio. And Betty, that nice kid I met at a Hollywood party, who knew nothing about me, but knew what she wanted. Don't you love Artie?
Of course I love him. I always will. I'm just not in love with him anymore.
What happened?
You did?
Well, we should have lived happily ever after, like they do in the movies. But this was different, because this is a Hollywood story about the people who make the movies. The little ones that you never hear of, like Betty and me. The great ones like Cecil B. DeMille. All those who knew Norma Desmond, a strange woman who left her mark on all of us who crossed her path. Has it ever occurred to you that I may have a life of my own, that there may be some girl that I'm crazy about?
Who? Some car hop or a dress extra?
What I'm trying to say is that I'm all wrong for you. You want a Valentino, somebody with polo ponies, a big shot.
What you're trying to say is you don't want me to love you. Say it. Say it.
Gloria Swanson, one of the great personalities of this generation in a role that comes to an actress once in a lifetime. Rising to the heights, William Holden creates a startling portrayal. And a new star is born in Sunset Boulevard, Miss Nancy Olson.
Joe? Where are you? What's this all about?
Why don't you come out and see for yourself? The address is 10,086 Sunset Boulevard.
Yes, come out to see for yourself the film that reaches a new milestone of dramatic daring. The film that every critic says is a giant among motion pictures.
One day she flew away,
How many's the time poor Brother Ben told me about these young'uns?
What'd he tell you?
He told me lots and lots of things. The night before your father died, he told me what he did with that money. He said, you tell my little girl Pearl that there's to be no secrets between her and you.
The children know where it's hid. John knows.
Where's the money hid?
I don't know nothing.
You think you can make me tell, but I won't. I won't. I won't.
Lean on the everlasting.
Come on, Pearl.
I can feel myself getting awful mad.
Now, weren't you afraid, little lambs, down there in all that dark?
To be near me, to smile at me behind your back, to try to rouse something in my heart that's dead. You can't. Heathcliff's not a man, but something dark and horrible to live with.
Do you imagine, Catherine, that I don't know why you're acting so? Because you love him.
Oh, Heathcliff, you must not do this villainous thing. She hasn't harmed you.
You have.
Then punish me.
I'm going to. When I take her in my arms, when I kiss her, when I promise her life and happiness.
Oh, Heathcliff, if there's anything human left in you, don't do this.
Oh, Heathcliff, why won't you let me come near you? You're not black and horrible as they all think. You're full of pain. I can make you happy. Let me try. You won't regret it. I'll be your slave. I can bring life back to you, new and fresh.
All you have to do is to shoot.
They'll thank me for it. The whole world will say I did right in ridding it of a rotten gypsy beggar.
Yes, they'll say that. Shoot and you'll be master here again. The whole county will resound with your courage, Hindley. Go on! Shoot, you puling chicken of a man with not enough blood in your veins to keep your hands steady.
Won't you join me?
Yes, join Audrey Hepburn as you've never seen her before, kicking over the traces and bringing to life Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I never could do that.
Audrey Hepburn as Holly Golightly, who typifies and glorifies the glamorous playmates of this dizzily spinning world as she and George Peppard breeze through the glitter and shimmer of New York as it has never been captured before. You have a special invitation to attend Audrey Hepburn's open house on the wildest night New York ever knew.
Yes.
Oh, good evening, Ed.
Tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money in a minute. Would you marry me for my money?
In a minute.
So I guess it's pretty lucky neither of us is rich, huh? Please, darling, don't sit there looking at me like that.
Holly, I'm in love with you.
So what?
So what? So plenty. I love you. You belong to me.
No. People don't belong to people.
Of course they do.
I'm not gonna let anyone put me in a cage.
I don't want to put you in a cage. I want to love you.
Audrey Hepburn and George Peppard, searching for love in the big town, but sharing only part of their lives until they find the deep, warm moment of truth that can't be hidden, even by the oddball antics on the brittle surface of New York.
Imagine yourself as one of the crew of this faster-than-light spaceship of the future, sharing their curiosity to know the unknown, their tension, their readiness for inconceivable adventures.
Sir, we're being radar scanned. United Planets cruiser C-57D, J.J. Adams commanding. Who are you?
Morbius of the Bellerophon.
Oh, Dr. Morbius, my orders are to survey the situation on Altair 4.
Commander, if you set down on this planet, I warn you that I cannot be answerable for the safety of your ship or your crew.
When you reach the Forbidden Planet, you will meet Dr. Morbius, played by Walter Pidgeon. The Doctor is sole owner of this fabulous world. Anne Francis is his alluring daughter, Alta, who has never seen a young man till she meets Commander Adams, played by talented Leslie Nielsen.
Come on in.
Didn't bring my bathing suit.
What's a bathing suit?
Oh, murder.
You will meet a charming character in The Robot, able to produce, on order, 10 tons of lead or a slinky evening gown. Always at your service.
You must be the loveliest, softest thing you've ever made for me. And fit in all the right places, with lots and lots of star sapphires.
Star sapphires take a week to crystallize properly. Would diamond or emeralds do? You explore all the wonders of a vanished civilization. You travel deep down into the heart of the Forbidden Planet to discover the incredible marvels of this lost genius race. These magnificent scenes in striking Eastman color stagger the imagination.
20 miles. Look down, gentlemen. Are you afraid? 7,800 levels.
Yet the wonders of the planet Altair 4 conceal a strange and evil force, unknown, irresistible.
Huh? I'm in trouble. Jim, what happened? What kind of trouble are you in?
Jim Stark, things pretty rough for you at home?
They think that I can make friends.
Your folks didn't understand.
They never do.
He made a mistake, and he's sorry. He's always a lovely boy.
Grandmother, you tell one more lie, and you're going to turn to stone.
Is he a friend of yours? What's he like?
I don't know. He doesn't say much. You know the Millertown Bluff? We'll have a little chickie run.
I don't want you to go to the police. There were other people. Why should you be the only one involved?
But I am involved. We are all involved. I don't see how I can get out of this by pretending that it didn't happen.
Jim, a foolish decision now could wreck your whole life.
You're tearing me apart.
A real man doesn't run away when you want them.
You see right through me, don't you? If I had one day when I felt that I belonged someplace, if I didn't have to feel that I was ashamed of everything.
Just once, I want to do something right.